On the warm, sunny day of July 20, 1997, Patty McConnell and her two children, 13-year-old Kelly and 11-year-old Tyler, decided to take a trip to the popular Miette Hot Springs in Jasper National Park, Canada. Little did they know that their adventure would soon turn into a nightmare. What's up, guys? Iceman here. So this incident is about a very unfortunate situation. It really pains me to read or hear stories about a young woman getting mauled to death by a bear, or worse. But this one just has to get out there, because I think there's something to be gained from knowing about these incidents. It helps us, I think, be more cautionary while out in the wild. And it's also perspective gaining, in that it helps us, I think, appreciate what we have, and know that perhaps every day in itself is a gift. But if you guys will, like this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And if you want to support me further, you can become a channel member or a patron. Links in the description below. So let's get into this chilling tale. The Liard River Hot Springs Provincial Park is a beautiful natural area located in British Columbia, Canada. The park is known for its stunning forest landscapes and unique thermal pools, which are fed by the nearby Liard River. In addition to the hot springs, the park is home to a variety of wildlife and plant species, making it a popular destination for nature enthusiasts and hikers. The park is home to a diverse range of animal species, including grizzly bears, black bears, moose, elk, caribou, wolves, coyotes, lynx, and wolverines. Visitors to the park are advised to take appropriate precautions to avoid encountering these animals and to keep a safe distance if they do. For example, it is recommended to travel in groups, make noise to alert animals of your presence, and carry bear spray. Bird watchers will also appreciate the many bird species found in the park, including bald eagles, ospreys, sandhill cranes, and various species of waterfowl. The park is also home to a diverse range of forest types, including boreal and subalpine forests. The forest is primarily made up of spruce, pine, and aspen trees, which provide important habitat for many of the park's animal species. The forest floor is also home to a variety of plant species, including wildflowers, ferns, and mosses. The park is particularly known for its stands of trembling aspen, which turn bright yellow in the fall and provide a beautiful contrast against the green spruce trees. The McConnell family had been enjoying their day at the hot springs and decided to explore a less crowded pool located in a remote area of the park. As they walked down the boardwalk and up some stairs, they suddenly found themselves face to face with a large black bear. Patty's eyes widened as the bear began walking toward her, ears back and head low, steadily making its move. "Get back, bear! Shoo!" she would shriek at it, to no avail. She was barely able to yell out to Kelly before the bear tackled her and began to viciously maul her. The bear had Patty pinned down to the ground in a moment, jaws wrapped around her forearm as it began thrashing side to side, tossing her helpless carcass about effortlessly. She screamed in horror, begging her children to run and save their own lives. "Run, Tyler! Run, Kelly! Get out of here!" she wailed as her children witnessed the most horrific thing they have ever seen. The bear began digging into her chest cavity, seemingly beginning to eat her alive. Kelly, who had been always interested in wildlife and had read extensively on how to defend himself against wild animals, instinctively kicked the bear in the face and began hitting it with a nearby tree branch to try and save his mother and brother. However, the bear turned its attention to Kelly and attacked him, clawing him across the neck and lifting him into the air by his waist before tossing him aside. Miss McConnell, who anxiously tried to drag herself to the boardwalk, was now trapped against a railing. The bear charged at her and bit her in the arm, causing her to scream in peril. She tried to fight back by hitting the bear with her purse, but it was no match for the animal's strength. Her son Kelly was stunned from the incident, while his mother's body lay there in ruin, only 10 feet away, as the bear began digging into her even more ferociously than before. "Oh my God, help!" Patty would scream, but her pleas fell flat in the isolated forest. Her young son Tyler went running down the boardwalk, desperately looking for help. "Help! Mummy's getting eaten by a bear!" he would yell at the top of his lungs. He ran what felt like forever. Hearing their cries, a bystander named Ray Kitchen rushed to the scene and also tried to beat the black bear away from its 2 bloodied victims. The bear turned on Kitchen and struck him with such force that the 2 went tumbling through a railing and down a hillside, where the bear began mauling Kitchen as well. Kitchen scraped and clawed to the best of his ability with his fingernails against the bear's face, nose, and neck, but to no avail. The sturdy and agile man was easily overpowered by the beast. The bear held down his left arm and clenched its jaws around his neck, spewing blood from his jugular, leaving the man in a helpless ruin, with a pool of his own blood screaming from the ground. Ray Kitchen was fatally mauled, but his efforts were indeed heroic. Shortly after, Kitchen was critically wounded. 2 more bystanders rushed in with hunting rifles and killed the rampaging animal. Smoke from the animal's gunshot wounds reached to the sky as the steamy hot mess of death and chaos took its final breaths. While McConnell also died from her wounds, her brave young boys survived, and Kelly and Kitchen posthumously received medals of courage from the Canadian government. Kelly was in critical condition due to the severe neck wound inflicted by the bear. Tyler, who had managed to escape the attack unharmed, was traumatized by the experience and suffered from nightmares for years to come. The incident left the onlookers with emotional scars that would last a lifetime. They became advocates for bear safety and worked with local authorities to raise awareness about the dangers of encountering wild animals. The incident at the Miette Hot Springs was a wake-up call for the park authorities and wildlife officials in Canada. The authorities launched an investigation into the incident and found that the bear was a female black bear that had been frequently sighted in the area. The incident also led to a review of the park safety guidelines and the implementation of new measures to minimize the risk of bear attacks. These measures included increased bear awareness education, mandatory use of bear spray, and the installation of bear-resistant garbage bins in the park. Jeez, what do you guys think about that situation? You know, it's really sad that this young mother and her 2 children were just venturing out there completely unprepared for the risks at hand. To think that the lady had to swat at the bear with her purse is really sad, honestly. I feel like it was the late 90s when I visited the Upper Peninsula of Michigan with my dad and uncle, and I remember at the little DNR center or whatever, they did warn us of bears, and we took pepper spray, and I'm not gonna lie, my dad and uncle both had little hand cannons on them as well. But I was just a young boy, and really at that time, I was kind of afraid of a bear showing up or whatever, so I tried to stay close to my dad. There was actually a moment where I could hear the cry of a young cub. And in that moment, I was probably 100 feet ahead of my dad and uncle on the trail. That moment really raises hair on my back just thinking about it even today. But to think of how this lady was just helplessly mauled by the bear is just so saddening, and I can't imagine the horror that her children must have witnessed. And what a brave young boy Kelly was to try to fight the damn thing off. But unfortunately, he wasn't prepared enough either, and his attempts were futile. But it could have been a lot worse. What's crazy is how the black bears especially will start to eat their victims while they're still alive. They just don't even care. And grizzlies do the same. Like if you see them pulling salmon out of a river, they don't try to kill them first. They'll just start peeling the skin off and ripping out the meat while the thing's still alive. And as horrific as it sounds, that's what they'll do with humans as well. And it seems like that's the fate that Patty had to face. I just know that if my lady was going out to a park like this on her own, I would definitely recommend she bring some bear spray or a mini hand cannon, or both, really. Because even though these black bears are super cute and cuddly, you just never really know. And there's often rogues in many species anyway, where they'll act unexpectedly. So you really have to be ready for anything. I was on Facebook the other day and I saw this video short of a lady in her cabin. There's a bunch of bears outside and she like goes out there and feeds them and stuff and plays with them kind of, and she just gets really close to them with her cell phone out and talks all cute to them. And that looks really fun and the bears are really cute, but how much trust should we actually have in these wild animals that can easily overpower us is really the question that I can't help but ask. But nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on these matters in the comments below. Appreciate you guys for coming by. Again, if you will, like this video and subscribe to the page. Hit the bell so you're notified next time I post. And stay tuned for more chilling tales from the Iceman.